Every 60 seconds, the world shifts. Someone takes their last breath, and someone else takes their first. Tonight, you are in between both of those moments, still breathing, but already haunted. Haunted by the silence you pretend not to hear. Haunted by the questions you don't let yourself ask. Do you want to know a secret? The world doesn't care about you. Not really. If you vanished tonight, there would be people who cry, yes, people who miss you for a week, a month, a year. But the world keeps turning. Someone else will take your place at work. Someone else will sit in your chair, sleep in your bed, maybe even whisper the same words you thought made you unique. Within a generation or two, your name will be just that, ink on a headstone, a faint memory that no one quite remembers clearly. That's the truth no one tells you, isn't it? That life is not a promise, it's a countdown. From the day you are born, the clock starts ticking and it never stops. And when it hits 0, you don't get to argue, you don't get to beg for more, you just stop. And the worst part, you don't know when. You go to bed trusting that tomorrow will exist. You plan things for next year as if it's guaranteed. But how many people also believed in tomorrow and never woke up to see it? Somewhere, right now, a phone is ringing in the middle of the night. A voice on the other end is whispering, "I'm sorry, they're gone." And tomorrow, someone will wake up and find the bed beside them cold. Someone will pour coffee for a person who will never drink it. Someone will stare at a phone waiting for a message that will never arrive. Tell me, why do you think you're different? You ignore the fragility of life because it's easier. But deep down, you already know. Every time your chest tightens, every time you lie awake staring at the ceiling, every time you flinch at a sound in the dark, you know how thin the line is between alive and gone. And it's not just death that steals people. Sometimes it's time. Do you realize how many people you've already lost? Not because they died, but because they changed? People who once swore they'd never leave, who became strangers in the same room? That's its own kind of death, isn't it? Watching someone you knew turn into someone unrecognizable, until the memory of who they were feels like a ghost whispering inside your head. But let's go deeper. Do you know why people really fear the dark? It's not because of monsters. It's because the dark is honest. In the dark, you can't distract yourself. You can't scroll, you can't pretend, you're left with nothing but your own thoughts. And that's the real nightmare, being alone with the things you try to bury during the day. The regrets, the guilt, the secrets you swore you'd take to your grave, the faces you'd rather forget. You ever notice how silence gets louder at night? How your heart beats harder when the house is too still? That's not random. That's your body reminding you of the truth. You're temporary, and all the things you thought you could escape eventually come for you in the quiet. Here's another secret. Every person you know is wearing a mask. The stranger on the street, your best friend, even the ones you trust the most. Everyone has a darkness they hide. Every smile conceals something they will never tell you. And sometimes the people closest to you are the ones holding the sharpest knives. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I never expected them to do that"? How many times has betrayal crept in wearing a familiar face? How many times have you been blindsided only to realize the signs were there all along? You just chose not to see them. It's funny, isn't it? How fragile trust really is. You can spend years building it and lose it in 1 second flat. One lie, one secret, one moment when the mask slips. And when it does, you never forget it. Because here's the harsh truth. People disappear all the time, not just from death, but from your life, your heart, your trust. They leave you staring at old photos, listening to old voicemails, rereading old texts until the words blur into nothing. And yet life doesn't pause. The clock keeps ticking. Tick, 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 until it's your turn to vanish. And when it is, do you think anyone will remember you for who you really were, or just the version of you they preferred? That's the part no one tells you. You don't get remembered as yourself. You get remembered as fragments, bits and pieces of who you were to different people. To some, you'll be a laugh. To others, a wound. To some, a mistake. To others, a ghost. You will never control the story they tell when you're gone. And maybe that's the most terrifying truth of all. But let me ask you one more thing. Right now, you're sitting in the dark listening to this. You feel your heart beat. You feel your chest rise and fall. You're aware of yourself in a way you don't usually let yourself be. And in the back of your mind, a thought is already forming, even if you don't want to admit it. What if tonight was your last night? What if tomorrow never comes for you? What unfinished words would die on your tongue? What secrets would rot inside your bones? What regrets would echo in the silence you leave behind? Think about it. Really think. Because somewhere, someone's countdown just hit 0, and you don't know when yours will. So tell me, can you still sleep?